and welcome to VOSR International, the voice of shortwave radio. I'm your host, Wavecrest Guy. This broadcast is being transmitted by WRMI, Radio Miami International, in Okeechobee, Florida, on both 9455 and 15770 kilohertz. This broadcast is also being transmitted by shortwave radio in Lower Saxony, Germany, on 3975 kilohertz.
All right, so we're going to start this broadcast out with some announcements. First off, a reminder for our one-year anniversary giveaway. VOSR International is going to be giving away a XH Data 368 shortwave radio. And then also we are going to be giving away a VOSR International coffee mug. And it's simple to enter the giveaway. Just send an email to VOSRINT@yahoo.com. That's VOSRINT at yahoo.com. Or head over to our website at VOSRinternational.com, and you can click on the mail icon and send us an email that way. In the subject line, put in anniversary giveaway, and you will be entered for the radio and for the mug. Now, we are only accepting one entry per person, and we do have to have the emails by February 21st. I want to announce the winner on the one-year anniversary broadcast on February 28th. So get those emails sent in. We usually don't get a ton of people, entering these, so your odds are pretty good that you will come away with one of the two prizes. Next, we do have some of our postcard QSL cards left to send out. So you can get one of those by sending in a reception report to VOSRINT@yahoo.com. And we will get one of those postcard QSL cards sent out to you. Be sure to make sure you give us your mailing address so we can get those mailed out to you. And then we always like it when you let us know when you did receive the postcard QSL, because these are going all over the world, and it gives me a little bit of a time frame to find out how long they are taking to get from our small post office here on Molokai, Hawaii. Now, since we have moved pretty much to a weekly broadcast, we've always been on every week, but having a new broadcast every week, we don't have any replays of some of these shows. So if you can't get it, or if there's bad propagation, you can always go over to our website at VOSRinternational.com, and I've got a page on there for our past broadcasts. So you can go over there, click the link. It's all by date, and you can click the date you want to listen to, and you can catch up that way. Sometimes I have some two-part segments and that type of thing, and you might have missed one, or you just might have missed the whole broadcast. You can definitely go over there and check that out. You can also go over to my YouTube channel at Wavecrest Guy. I've got a playlist there it's just called VOSR International Broadcasts, and you can go in there, and they're all in there. I usually put them, add them to that list after they have been broadcast, and if they're having a rebroadcast. If they're having a rebroadcast, then I delay them going onto that site until the rebroadcasts are finished. So, there's an easy way to be able to keep current with the program. Just head over to the website or the YouTube channel. There's a lot of other things to check out on our website at VOSRinternational.com. We've got our listener map there where I place a pin on a location when I get a reception report. And that's starting to fill out nicely, and going all over the world as these broadcasts do. So when you send in a reception report, I add the pin on there. And then also we're getting a really, really nice collection of listeners' radios, listeners' rigs, radio rooms. Send in those pictures, and we can get your picture added to that collage of pictures in there, and you can flip through and see all the nice radios that the listeners are using. You can also check us out and join us on Facebook if you use that medium, and it is VOSR International. You can join the group, and then you can post receptions, questions, anything you'd like to on the board there at VOSR International on Facebook. We've got quite a bit of group now. I've been mentioning it on the program a few weeks now, and there's definitely been quite a few more people join in over on Facebook. So check it out. And now, on with the show.
All right, so we're going to do a segment here that's a little bit different than usual. If you noticed, we've been running a few rebroadcasts of VOSR International for the last couple of weeks, and my daughter's been here, and she's going to be here one more week. And believe it or not, we are sitting on the west side of Molokai right now with a flashlight with no power in the dark. And we didn't have a lot to do, so we figured we'd do an interview here and just mention what's been going on for the last week here on Molokai. So first I'll introduce my daughter, Michelle, and she is here from Denver.
Hi, it's Michelle. I'm from Denver. I'm here on Molokai with no power, with just a headlamp lighting the way, and our phones that still have power magically. So yeah, I live in Denver, here visiting the parents for 2 weeks. And yeah, of course, the time that I'm here, the power goes out, but we're making do. And so that's why we're also recording, because I was trying to think of something else to do.
So in Denver, what do you do? What do you do for a living?
I work for a sports and entertainment company, doing risk management. So that's like insurance and lawsuits, claims, those kind of things.
And what do? You have a little side gig going on. What do you do there?
I also host a lot of meetup groups. So meetup.com, there's an app called Meetup. And our group is called Make New Friends Meetup Group. And you can look for me, Michelle, as a host. I host most of them. We have a Boulder chapter and a Denver chapter. So there's no agenda, and we just hang out and make new friends and chat. Most of the things that we do are happy hours, but we do several other different kind of things, like going to pool halls, billiards. We do picnics in the summer and those kind of things, but all based around having a safe environment to make new friends.
Okay, and I'm going to have a page set up on VOSRinternational.com, and I'll have the links for that too. So if you want to check that out, if you happen to be in the Denver or the Boulder area, you can check that out. And then I'm also going to have some pictures and some video from these last couple of weeks with Michelle being here on her trip. So what have you done so far since you've been here in Molokai, except for, and I wanted to mention about the power. The power has been out almost 12 hours now. So it's been out most of the day, and it is extremely windy. All the islands here in Hawaii got hit by it. And the governor has also already closed all the government facilities on all the islands tomorrow, Monday. So it's been a pretty rough, windy, rainy weekend here.
My favorite thing was the whale watching that we did. We went on a boat specifically for that. It was a catamaran type of boat, I think. Yeah. So catamaran boat, and was it called Blackbird?
The Blackbird.
Blackbird, yeah. It was really cool. And so we went whale watching, whale spotting, and we had a whale that did a full breach twice in front of us, and I captured it on camera, and it was really cool. So now is the time. The peak season is January through March of when they like migrate down from Alaska, I think, or whatever, yep. Right? Yeah. So, it was great for whale watching and whale spotting, and we saw a ton, and we even got to hear them too. There was a microphone, that they put right in the water, and you could hear them making their songs. So it was really cool. That's been the coolest thing. Otherwise, just taking walks on the beach, long walks on the beach, my favorite. But yeah, just going to the different beaches and stuff like that. Tried to watch the Super Bowl today.
Yeah, with this, of course, this all happened with the power right when the Super Bowl was starting, and there was actually in town in Kaunakakai, they were without power for a little bit, but then it came back on just before the game. And so we got back over here, and there was no power, so we couldn't watch it. So they went back in. There's only one restaurant, bar type place that would have the game on. So they went up there, and they were able to watch the game and watch the Seahawks pretty much dominate, it sounds like. So we didn't get to see it, but they were able to get up there, and it was pretty crowded because part of the island here didn't have power, and when they actually drove out to pick us up today, and there was a downed tree that the police had the road blocked off, and they were cutting the tree. And when we were coming back through town, the crew was just finishing up picking that up, and they were going out to clean up the road because there's been a lot of roads getting flooded out and washed out here. So the weather this last weekend hasn't been great. They also came out with us when we went golfing, so they were able to check that out, and they did take a ride up to the Kalapapa Lookout.
Yep. It was cool. We got lots of photos of that as well. The golf course was interesting. It was still fun though. We lost like one ball, but that's fine. But no, it was fun to walk around and see something different.
Yeah, there's some good views out on the golf course, but it's the only golf course we got, so we're not complaining. We can at least go out and golf, but we had fun, and it was a good day. And on Molokai, there's not a lot of a different variety of food or places to go out to eat here, so we probably pretty much hit all those already too. But now that the second week is going to be here, they do have one other trip hike lined up that they're going to be going on.
Hasn't been lined up?
Well,
not yet. So.
Yeah, we're waiting to hear from the guy. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Should happen this week.
Okay. Yeah, it's a guided tour. I think it's 4 miles out. So yeah, we're from Colorado, and I don't know, I wouldn't say avid hikers, but we hike. Like if you live in Colorado, you hike. Like that's kind of the culture there. There's so many trails, and it's depending on where you live. You're pretty close to some sort of hiking trail in the mountains, and that's where we escape to when it's hot summer. You go to the mountains because it's 10 to 20 degrees cooler in the mountains. So and you can just hike, and it's beautiful there. So we wanted to do that here as well. So it's something that we enjoy.
Yeah, this one, this hike, it's in the Halava Valley. It's over on the northeast side of the island, and it's really lush over there. That's the rainy side, and there is a waterfall that they'll be able to go to, and if they want to swim in the waterfall in the pool underneath it, they can do that. But I'm sure it's going to be pretty cool, and with all this rain, it's going to be a sloppy walk, but it's kind of a history cultural hike too. The guide talks about the area and how it was for the ancestors and people living there centuries ago. So it's really going to be a nice hike. Hopefully the weather holds out and they can still do that one. All right, so this is basically Michelle's first trip by herself here to Molokai. She came with us one other time about I believe it was 4 years ago. And we were only here for a day or two. So basically this is kind of her first trip here to Molokai. But she has been to the other islands. Michelle, why don't you go over that?
Yep. So first island was Kauai in 2012. Yep. And that was a family trip. That was gorgeous. And that was a great way to start off seeing Hawaii for the first time. It kind of made me biased a little bit towards Hawaii because I think that's just a great first island to start with because it's just gorgeous. It's where Jurassic Park was filmed and a lot of like Vietnam movies are filmed. It's just very lush, and it's like where the other, what do they call it? The Waimea Canyon. Yep.
Grand Canyon of the Pacific.
Yep. It's just beautiful there. We went on a helicopter tour and all that other stuff. And then we went to Oahu, I think was the next one. Or was it Maui?
No, it was probably Maui.
Okay, so Maui as a family trip. Yeah, that's right. Yep. So went to Maui before the fire. So that was really nice to see, and it's obviously unfortunate that happened, but glad I got to see that before that happened. Then Oahu to
While
visit.
we were on Maui, we took a boat trip.
That's right. Yeah, we took a boat trip to Lanai. Yeah. And so that's a smaller island, and that was really fun with that has the cats on it, right?
Yep.
Yes, the cat sanctuary.
Cat sanctuary, yep.
Yeah. That was fun and cool, and yeah, I like cats, so that was fun. So then Oahu to visit you guys like the next 2 years or something like that.
Yeah, you visited us on Oahu a couple
Yeah,
times.
when you guys were living in Honolulu. That was really fun. I think I like that island a lot. I think Kauai's still my favorite just because of how pretty it is, but I think Oahu's my second favorite. But yeah, I just like the city and the beaches.
There's much more to do there, and it pretty much has everything.
Yeah.
And you didn't go to Pearl Harbor though.
No.
Yeah, that was one thing
that's still on my list to go to at some point. I'm sure I'll be back at some point.
Yep.
But yeah. So that and then Molokai. We did do a Molokai visit. One of the trips that I took. Yeah, we took
to
the
Oahu.
little. Yep. And then we went here, saw your place here. And I like Molokai too. It's a little quiet for me though. I live in the city. I like city. But then the only other island I haven't been to is the Big Island. So hopefully someday I'll get there.
Yep, that'd be the last one yet. So we'll try to work on that. We already making plans to head back to Kauai because it's been such a long time, and that seems to be everybody's favorite. Everybody likes going to Kauai, and actually for a first trip, I usually recommend Maui, Oahu, or Kauai for your first trip. Because there's a lot to do. Most people really want to see if they're only getting. A lot of people say they're only going to come once, and if they do, I kind of recommend Oahu with Pearl Harbor being there because that's usually one of the highest things on people's list that they want to get done. All right. So one of the other things that's unique about coming to Molokai is that the only way to get to Molokai is on Mukulele Airline. Which is a very small airline. It's actually an arm of Southern Airways, and there are some of those on the mainland. But Mukulele is just for Hawaii, and they fly in between the islands. And they have these Cessna planes that they use, and they only hold 9 people. So they're very, very small. I'll let Michelle explain a little bit about that experience and coming over, and her boyfriend Justin is 6'3", so that must have been an experience for him to even get on the plane.
Yeah. So first of all, they weigh all of your stuff, including you, and so we had to kind of consolidate some things because we wanted to only check like 2 bags or whatever, and I think it's $20 or $30
$20
to check it, and then everything else has to be 15 pounds or less and you can get 2 personal items, so like a purse, and then you're usually weighed with that item, and then your second item is weighed separately, but it has to weigh 15 pounds or less. So if you want to bring those 2 items, they have to both be 15 pounds or less, and then or consolidate or put it in your check bag. So anyway, so that's what we did. So we had to do a lot of like redistributing of the items and everything to get the weight right. And then when they weigh you, they have to even out the plane. And so they weigh you and your personal items so that they distribute the plane more evenly, so that probably makes it easier to fly, I'm guessing. So, but yeah, so otherwise, and then you have to like crawl up these tiny little stairs, and then you have to crouch down to get down into the plane. You're kind of hunched over to get into the plane. It's not terrible, but it's really cool once you're in there, and then you can see a full view of the cockpit because they just like leave it open. And so you can get to see your entire flight of the 2 pilots that are flying. And it's a cool view, and I wish that we would have had a daytime view to see it, but unfortunately, because our plane was delayed, because we had a flat tire, so that delayed us even more, so that we didn't get to have a really cool view. But yeah, maybe again someday when we'll come, we'll see that. But yeah, it's a really cool ride. There's always a little bit of turbulence on those because they are so small. But it's not like scary or anything. Like
I wouldn't want to be flying today with the wind.
Oh yeah, definitely today would be a tough flight. But it's a short ride. It's like half an hour or so, something like that. So it's not terribly too bad. It is a little loud. I would recommend bringing like earplugs or something. It's a little loud. But otherwise, yeah, it's a really cool ride, and it's pretty short. It's over, and yeah, and I think it's worth it to come to islands like Molokai. So
Yeah, during the when Michelle came before, we came during the daylight, and then we were on Oahu. So she got some really nice pictures of Diamond Head.
yeah.
And I'll end up putting those on the website too, so you can check on that. They pretty much fly directly over Diamond Head. And with these planes, because they're so small, there's basically a window at each seat. So you get good views, and during this time of the year, even when you're over the ocean, you might be able to see some whales, and you just never know.
We did see some. I forgot what ride it was, but yeah, we did see out of the flight. We did see some whales as we were coming in. So you can once you get close enough.
Yeah.
Yep. It was cool.
Okay, so we're going to close it out from there, and I just want to thank Michelle for coming on the show. We had a few people say, "Hey, why don't you put her on?" And it ended up working out, especially with us sitting here pretty much in the dark with nothing else to do. So thanks for coming on, Michelle.
Yeah, thanks for having me. But yeah, I just wanted to tell everybody I recommend coming to Hawaii, but just do your research, know what to expect, especially if you come to a place like Molokai, that the power could go out. And, just that there's not a lot of things to do here. But otherwise, Hawaii is pretty great.
Yep, and Molokai is a good place to relax.
It is.
So,
yep.
All right, so let us know what you think. Send us an email at VOSRINT@yahoo.com. That's VOSRINT@yahoo.com, or head over to our website at VOSRinternational.com, and let us. You can just click on the mail icon and contact us that way. And now on to the mailbag. So this one's going to be a little bit longer because we had been doing some rebroadcasts over the last couple of weeks with my daughter being here. And we have gotten quite a few communications over those last couple of weeks also. We did have a schedule change that I do want to mention. And I don't really know if it's going to be starting, if it started already or not. But WRMI had us on Mondays at 1600 UTC on 15770 kilohertz. And that got moved over to Wednesdays. Same time slot, 1600 UTC, and the same 15770 kilohertz. But we are moved from Mondays to Wednesdays. And on the WRMI website, it lists the change. It was supposed to be March 10th, I believe. So it might not have started yet, but it also has the year incorrect on there too. So I know we haven't been on Mondays on 1600 UTC on 15770 kilohertz. So keep checking that Wednesday, and hopefully by the time this gets on, it'll be all straightened out and will be moved over. But for right now, we're not on Mondays. We should be on Wednesdays at 1600 UTC on 15770 kilohertz. So go over there and check that out. Okay, onto our mailbag. And this one came from Facebook. And we have Oscar from Cabo, Mexico. And he was listening to the Wednesday, February 10th show at 0300 UTC on 9455 kilohertz. He congratulated me on the program. And I just wanted to thank him for that. And I did add a pin onto our listener map and down in Cabo, and put Oscar down there on our map, so you can go over there and check that out. Thanks again for the communication, Oscar. Next, we have Dan from Fort Dodge, Iowa, and he contacted us through our website at VOSRinternational.com. And he writes that he was listening to us on Saturday afternoon at 5 p.m. Central Time on February 7th on 15770 kilohertz. Said it was a great signal with a little bit of fading. Thanks for the communication, Dan. And I also did put a pin on Fort Dodge, Iowa, and you can go over to our website and check that out. Next, we have a few communications over on Discord. We have Grateful Panic writes in, and he says that VOSR is coming in great on 15770 kilohertz from Tennessee. Thank you for that. Garo also posted it wasn't coming in bad over in Indiana also. Grateful Panic was using just a normal built-in whip on his Eaton radio also. Then back on Facebook, we had Bill write in from New Hampshire, and he said there was a strong signal there and coming in at all fives on an SINPO, 55555. Thanks for the information, Bill. Next, we have regular listener John over in Gold Canyon, Arizona, and he was listening on 9455 kilohertz. This was back from January 31st, and he reported an SINPO of 35433. And he was using his Yaesu FRG7, the Frog, and he was using the MLA 30 Plus active loop antenna with a 36-inch diameter loop of half-inch copper tubing. Thanks again, John. And another one back on Discord, we have Master Player 30, regular listener, and he said it was a fantastic show there, and it was coming in at a plus 30. Thanks again for listening. And then back from January 30th, Scott from New York wrote on Facebook on the VOSR International Facebook page that it wasn't coming in very well. It was only an S5, and that was on 9455 kilohertz, and that 5850 was actually even worse that night. Thanks for trying to get us again, Scott. And then this one is back from January 23rd, Daryl from outside of Portland, Oregon, had it booming in on with an SINPO of 54544, and he had a 80-40-20 fan dipole off a 50-foot tower that he was listening with, and he was listening with his Helicrafters radio. And he's got a really nice radio there that he sent a video on, and I'll try to get that over on the VOSR International webpage, and you can check that out. And thanks for being a regular listener, Daryl. Next, we have a regular listener, Carrie from Finland, and had bad reception back on January 15th, but then on January 22nd, Carrie writes, "Hello, Jeff. Good evening. Shortwave Gold on 3975 kilohertz on January 22nd, UTC on 1900 UTC. And again, today was audible inside of Finnish borders. But tried to find some SDRs that the spoken program would be good as possible. So I found myself in Wessex in the UK. And so using that Kiwi SDR to bring in the program there. So thanks again for listening and for the email communications, Carrie. And next we have a email from our broadcast of January 22nd from Relief in northern Germany near Bremen. And he reports that it was reception was coming in really good on 3975 kilohertz. And he reported an SINPO of 35443, but then as the broadcast went on, it went down to 25432 and couldn't follow the program anymore. They were using, Relief was using a SDR RTL 2832U, and the software is HD SDR 2.81B8. The antenna is a 30-inch magnetic loop, mag loop MLA 30 plus that is mounted 2 meters above the ground. And he writes here, about 45 years ago in my youth, I was an authentic, enthusiastic shortwave listener and always on the lookout for new stations. Now I began to take on this wonderful hobby again, and the SDR offers other technologies with many new possibilities. Thanks for keeping shortwave alive. Having these vital communication structures on AM is very important, and I would not rely on satellites, mobile phones, or all the required infrastructure alone when it comes to communication that can reach everyone everywhere. Finding and listening to foreign radio stations on AM bands is also very interesting. There is no better way to get more detailed information than from local radio stations. And for many people only have access to education and often get connected to the rest of the world and receive unfiltered information. Then he asked a little bit more information about VOSR, and I sent them that information and a QSL card out to Relief over in Germany. So thank you for the kind words. It's a great email to get. I really love those when people just happen to find us and then contact us. It's really great, and hopefully be a regular listener from now on. Thanks again. And next we have regular listener Adrian from Malta, and propagation has been all over for the last few weeks, especially getting over to Malta on 15770 kilohertz. And but he was able to pick us up when we were on Mondays at 1600 UTC. And now with that program gone, Adrian has been able to pick us up pretty well on 3975 kilohertz, and did on February 12th, and with an SINPO of 55454. So it's coming in rather well. So hopefully that Wednesday broadcast, when that does start up on 15770 kilohertz, will be good. But it's good to know that we've been having some good luck on 3975 kilohertz over to Malta. Thanks again, Adrian. And next we have Joe from New Jersey. And Joe writes, Jeff, I checked on your YouTube channel, and it is no doubt, and as an SWL, you really put Hawaii on the radio map. There are lots of opportunities to hear distant signals from Asia, Russia, Far East, Australia, New Zealand, and any of the islands in Hawaii, and you're making the most of your opportunities. And that's going through some of my my videos that I do have over at Wavecrest Sky on YouTube. He also writes that there were some notable SWLs in Hawaii who were active in the past. There was Dale Park in Honolulu in the 1980s, and the late Dr. Richard E. Wood did some of his listening there for a number of years. In the future, I hope you can do some YouTube videos about the Otsun DX286, the Q286 for short. This radio can pull in some interesting stations, even with its telescopic whip antenna, yet it can perform well with various antennas, like the 23-foot reel antennas to the MLA 30 plus loop antenna. One example of the 286's sensitivity on medium wave or AM. When Andre from South Africa in his SWL channel on YouTube tested it along the coast in Port Elizabeth, it was pulling in signals from as far as 5,000 miles away. Signals from Russia, Moldova, and African countries found their way to his DX286. So maybe you can try something similar with that radio. So that is one thing with this broadcast. I did put down that I am going to be doing a review of this radio and put it through its paces here in Hawaii. He also included a photo of his current portable receivers on a table at the local park in Estelle Manor, New Jersey, and when he's doing remote listening back in October. And so I do have that that picture up under listeners' rigs over on our website at VOSRinternational.com. The receivers he has in the picture are Grundig G5, an XH Data D219, and the Otsun DX286. So thanks again for your email, Joe, and hopefully you'll be able to pick up that broadcast when I do the review of the Otsun DX286. Next, we have Harry, regular listener, and this was back from January 27th. I got this email, and then he writes, thanks for the program of January 22nd. I was listening in Parainen, Kiwi SWR, with an 80-meter loop antenna on 3975 kilohertz. And Parainen is located in Turkey region in Turku region in southwest Finland. It is a bilingual region of Finnish and Sweden-speaking population. In Swedish, it's called Pargas. It is an archipelago with lots of islands. Reception was fair, getting better by the end to fair to good, with an SINPO of 34333 overall. And the recording here is actually quite a good site. At this time, there was still some crackling from a huge geometric and solar storms a few days earlier. He writes that he'll be waiting for the next show on Thursday. Thanks again, Harry. It's always good to hear from you, and I learned quite a bit about the region. Even though I can't pronounce things very well over there, I am learning a lot about Finland, and I am going to be posting some of the pictures. Harry sends me pictures, and I get them on the VOSR International website, so you can go over there and check them out. Next, we have regular listener Harry from Fort Walton Beach, Florida, and he writes that he wanted to be entered in our radio and mug giveaway, and so you are entered, Harry, and good luck to that. He says that he is a regular listener, and he's been listening since the show's inception. And being chosen the winner on February 28th would be a great birthday gift, as he'll be turning 65 that day. So happy birthday and good luck to you, Harry. Next, we have William from Columbia, South Carolina, and he writes, I'm listening tonight to your broadcast on a Night Kit Star Roamer shortwave radio on 5850 kilohertz. And this was back on January 30th. So thank you for the communication, William. It's great to get these emails, and so I know where everybody is all throughout the world listening into VOSR International. Next, an email from January 30th from Dave in Montana. And Dave writes, hello, just tuned in to VOSR International on 5850 at 0200 UTC on Saturday. That'll be Friday night there. He reports an SINPO of 54444. I hear you needed a Montana person on your map, so I thought I would send you a quick email, and he is in Billings, Montana. I did add that pin on there, so we do have a pin in Montana now. We still have quite a few of states. If you go take a look, I don't think we have anything from the Dakotas yet, Wyoming, Minnesota. So there are quite a few states out there still that we are looking to add pins to. So this is a really great email to get. And so Dave is listening on a Yaesu FT891 with a 135-foot, 80-meter end-fed half-wave antenna at 40 feet. The antenna is broadside east to west, and WRMI is booming in here. I have the Yaesu feeding some Yamaha computer speakers for optimum sound clarity. I am also an amateur radio operator, hence the Yaesu. It's nice to hear some interesting program on shortwave. I am mostly into operating CW on the ham bands, but I have been getting back into shortwave listening lately. I used to be a big tropical band listener, DXer, back in the 80s, and a member of the Speed DX shortwave club. Anyways, thanks for the programming, and keep up the great work. Thank you, Dave. It's awesome to get emails like this. I did get you onto our map, and I really appreciate that, and hopefully you'll be catching future shows. Next, we have David from Central Missouri listening to us. This was on January 31st on 9455 kilohertz, and listening on an RSP DX receiver with a 122-foot inverted V antenna at 40 feet. The signal was a great S plus 10 with some moderate fading to S8. And David also wanted to be entered in our video, and you definitely are entered into our drawing, and you definitely are, David. And over on Discord, he is Daddy Dave that he writes, because I head over to Discord and check out the boards over there. So thanks, David, and good luck in the drawing. And next we had another email from Harry from Finland, and this was back from the January 31st broadcast. And on that broadcast, replies here that the signal was quite strong, S9 and stable with some ionospheric noise, and an SINPO of 44343. It was nice to hear what kind of antennas and receivers you have there. I also have an MLA 30 plus loop antenna on the balcony, and I have modified it with an 80 centimeter copper loop. Also nice to hear other listeners' greetings and what kind of equipment they are using. And it will be interesting to hear what kind of antenna switches folks are using. I do not have one, but they definitely would be nice to have. So again, thanks, Harry. And yes, I will hopefully be doing a follow-up on that segment on antenna switches. Next, we have Joe from West Tennessee, and he writes, good afternoon. Currently listening to the show on 15770 kilohertz from WRMI, and I'm pleased to report that the reception is near perfect in West Tennessee. Some very faint fading here and there, but this is to be expected with an Eaton portable with the factory whip antenna inside the house. Loving the shows, and thanks for keeping shortwave alive. Thank you very much, Joe, and great to get your email. And this was back from the January 31st broadcast. Next, again, back from the January 31st broadcast, we have Peter from Krebs, Oklahoma. And he writes, hi, Jeff. Listen to your program today on Saturday the 31st on 15770 kilohertz. I especially enjoyed the talk about antenna switches. I use a Daiwa CS201A antenna switch connected to my Kenwood R1000. The two antennas connected are a Moonraker LTD X1 vertical antenna and an 80-foot wire antenna. It makes it so much easier to switch between the antennas because one of the antennas works better on different frequencies than the other and vice versa. The signal was very good, a 30 over S9 or a SINPO of 45544. And he was using the Kenwood R1000 with the 80-foot wire antenna. Keep up the great work and stay safe. Thank you, Peter. Thanks for that information on your switches. And I will definitely be taking a look at that Daiwa switch that you had mentioned. And next we have an email from Jeffrey from Chiba, Japan. And he writes that he was listening to us, and this one actually goes back to January 19th on 15770 kilohertz. Reports an SINPO of 45343. With the end of the show, it was getting worse, and the SINPO went down to 25232. The listening location was using a Kiwi SDR in Ottawa, Canada, and the antenna was an MLA 30 plus loop antenna. And he also writes, the shortwave history is very interesting. In fact, I tried to write down every single word you said. I also enjoyed the Prinos J711. That radio interests me, but can't get one in Japan. So thanks again for listening, Jeffrey. Hopefully you ended out getting the EQSL card and the QSL that was mailed to you. Next, we have an email from Ding from Yangzhou province in China, and he was listening to VOSR International on 15770 kilohertz from January 31st, and he was using a Kiwi SDR from the UK, and the SINPO was 44444. Enjoyed the program very much, and wished us a Happy New Year. And thank you, Ding. This is the second communication I've gotten from Ding, so it's good to have you as a regular listener. And next we have an email from Rafael in Bogota, Colombia. And he writes, hello, Jeff. Greetings from Colombia. The last Friday local night I was listening to your transmission on 5850 kilohertz, and it was great to hear your show because I am a fan of shortwave radio, and it is the first time I got your station. So I did send Rafael a QSL card in the mail. Hopefully he'll be getting that soon. He did send a couple pictures, and I will get those on the website under Listeners Rigs, and you can go check it out. Some beautiful pictures there of Columbia, a nice shot with the rainbow, and of Raphael there by his radio. So get those on the website. Go over and check them out. They're starting to get a large collage of pictures over there that you can flip through. And don't forget to send in those pictures that you have of your radio rooms, your setups, your equipment. Send them over to VOSRINT@yahoo.com. Next, I got a quick email here from Jeff in Central Michigan, and he simply said that he was picking us up on shortwave, and it's great that he contacted us. And then after I sent him an email back, he did send us some more information, and I actually got a QSL card sent out to him. He put down that my wife bought me an old NC57 radio, and I plugged it in and put a wire on it, and you were pretty much the first thing that I heard. I'm just getting into radio, and he's studying for his tech license. So good luck, Jeff. Hopefully you'll continue to be listening to VOSR International also. Thanks again. And now we're moving over to an email from February 5th's broadcast, and this is from Silvestro from Treviso, north of Italy, the Venice area. And he writes that today he was listening on 3975 kilohertz on shortwave gold. This was the first time I've listened to your broadcast. I enjoyed spending an hour listening to your program about shortwave radio before going to dinner. He doesn't speak very well English, but he did find the program educational and very interesting. And even today, he had a good signal in North Italy of 9 dBs with slight to moderate fading. My receiver is an ICOM IC-R8600 with a long wire 24 and then 5 meters antenna. I reported an SINPO of 44333. So thanks again, Silvestrio. Thanks for listening, and thanks for your communication. Next, we have an email from Greg in Crown Point, Indiana, and he just wanted to thank us and congratulate us for our upcoming 1-year anniversary. Thank you, Greg. Next is an email from the February 6th broadcast, and it is from Barry, and I know Barry from the website Radio Reference. We've actually communicated back and forth for quite a while, and he writes, "Hello, Slippery. AB4BF here from Radio Reference. I have finally received your VOSR broadcast. I'm listening on 5850 kilohertz at 0200 UTC Friday night here, but my UTC clock says Saturday. WR signal is 20 to 40 over. The signal is great. Thank you. I'm located 5 miles south of Johnston, South Carolina. I'm listening on my ICON 7300, so 7300, through an MJF 993B antenna tuner. My antenna is a Buckmaster 8-band OCF dipole, 3 kilowatt rated, up to almost 50 feet inverted, to about 25 feet on each end. It is oriented north to south with the low band end to the south. Very excited to have finally received your VOSR broadcast and looking forward to listening to many more. Thank you very much, Barry, and thank you so much for continuing to try to get the program. I know sometimes 15770 kilohertz doesn't work that great. Sometimes the same as with 9455 kilohertz. Depending on your location. I have gotten a good response to people listening on 5850 kilohertz, so I'm glad you were able to finally catch the broadcast. Next, this email is from February 7th broadcast, and it's from Konstantin from the Ukraine. And he reports a SINPO of 55555, listening on 9455 kilohertz, with a SDR Play RSP1 and a long wire antenna. And he goes into a detailed reception report, which was fantastic, and he had everything correct. And he writes, greetings from Ukraine. So thanks again for listening, and thank you again for your communication in your email. Next, another email from February 7th, and it is simply from A, is how it is listed here, and it says that I randomly found your station while tuning through the frequencies today on my SDR with some coax slung up in a tree in the Cleveland, Ohio area. Listening on 15770 kilohertz. Wanted to be entered into the drawing, so you definitely are, and thank you for taking the time to send in the email. Next, we have Joe from Ann Arbor, Michigan. Joe writes, Hi, VOSR. I recently began listening to shortwave again, thanks to a proxy service, Kiwi SDR, and came upon your program this evening. I used to listen to shortwave with my father in the 1980s and would send for and receive some QSLs that I enjoyed. I am listening from Ann Arbor, Michigan, and look forward to finding you again. I'd love to be in your drawing that you mentioned on the air, and either way, thanks for a wonderful program. Well, thank you, Joe, and yes, you definitely are entered into the drawing, and I did get a QSL card out to you. Please let me know when you receive it. Next, email from Carl, back from February 7th broadcast again. And he writes, I'm listening to your broadcast on WRMI on 15770 kilohertz with an S9 plus 30 dB signal fades down to an S9. The antenna is a long wire with a tuner, and the radio is a Yaesu FT450D amateur radio transceiver, and location being Central Indiana. So I did respond to Carl, and so I did send him a EQSL card, and he did ask about the times and frequencies. Are they correct on the website? I will be listening. Carl, I'm going to be answering your email here and give you the new updated schedule, but if you go over to VOSRinternational.com, all the schedule is right there on the front page, and it says the days, times, and frequencies of all our broadcasts. Thanks for the email, Carl. And next we have an email from Paul from the Canary Islands, and this is back from the February 7th broadcast, but also listened to a broadcast on January 31st and on January 24th. And all three times the reception was pretty good out to the Canary Islands. Sometimes there was a short dip, but in general, better at the beginning of the year, so no switching over to an SDR was needed. So just going into a couple of the comments here, he did mention a few minutes of the program before VOSR begins. A man was talking about radio frequencies and changes, and he referred to an article on the New York Times attachment, which he attached, about a difficult position of public TV and radio stations in the U.S., and was wondering if that was the same. The case was the same with VOSR and WRMI, and so they have issues with funding, of course. And so I answered back that yes, the shortwave, over the last, since the 80s have been really going down. I really believe there has been a pickup in shortwave. There's been a lot of new programming coming out for shortwave, quite a bit over on WRMI by itself. They picked up a lot of new programs, and there's really been a lot of excitement and people talking about it online on many different mediums that you can check out. So it is really hopefully something that will have a little bit of a bounce back anyways. I know it's not going to be anything like it was back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, but hopefully we'll be able to make sure that stays around for quite some time. Also, wanted to mention that I always get some great photos from Paul from the Canary Islands. He sent me one here of the almonds were in blossom, so he knows that spring is in the air. I'll be getting these up on our website. I'll have it under the radio rig, so you can check out some of these other pictures that I'm getting just from the area where people live. It's all really great, and thanks for taking the time and communicating with us and sending us the pictures, Paul. And finally, we made it to our last email, and this one is from the broadcast on February 11th. and it is from KB3GTY. That's Jeff from Bloomberg, Pennsylvania. And he writes, heard your broadcast for the first time this week before the 0 hour segment. Excellent content, fun and informative. I caught your last show at 6 p.m. Eastern on 15770 kilohertz. My internet was down and I don't remember the day, but the signal was about 5x5 on a Texan PL660 with a tuned loop. Then he also wanted to be entered in the giveaways and an updated schedule. So I did get that out to him, and he is entered in the drawing for the mug and the radio. So good luck, Jeff. So that concludes our mailbag segment. Again, quite long because of having the few rebroadcasts done there while my daughter was here. But it's great. It's always good getting communication from the listeners, talking about the segments, talking about the equipment that they're using, how good the reception is. Getting all the information is actually vital to the show, and I really have no other way to find out if there's anybody out there listening to the program. So keep the emails coming. You can contact us on Facebook. You can stop by our Facebook page at VOSR International. You can go over to our website at VOSRinternational.com. You can click on the mail icon, connect with us that way. You can connect with me over at on YouTube. Go to Wavecrest Guy, and you can comment on the videos over there. You can also go over to Reddit at Grundig Shortwave Radio. I always post updates or anything on there also. So there's quite a few places where you can check us out and stay in communication with us. But always you can always send in your emails to VOSRINT@yahoo.com. That's VOSRINT@yahoo.com. So hopefully we'll be hearing from more of you soon.
And that concludes our broadcast. Be sure to catch our broadcasts every Saturday at 0300 UTC on 9455 kilohertz, and also on Saturdays at 2300 UTC on 15770 kilohertz. Transmitted by WRMI Radio Miami International from Okeechobee, Florida. We are also broadcasting on Thursdays at 1900 UTC on 3975 kilohertz. Transmitted by Shortwave Radio in Lower Saxony, Germany. Until next time, ahoy ho everyone.